selection of uplifting stories about people and the world we live in. I'm Malama Mukonde in Lusaka, Zambia, and here's my co-host, Chris Iles.
Hello everyone and greetings from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us today. Here's what we have coming up. We meet the Egyptians who can make almost anything out of date palm waste. A Zimbabwean teaching sign language to make sure no one is left behind by climate change. And the community campaigning to save their olive trees from a coal mine in Turkey. Now to Egypt, where for thousands of years people have grown date palms and reused the waste. They turn it into baskets, mud, furniture and building materials. Nowadays, this traditional craft has declined as plastic and imported goods took over the marketplace. But Egypt remains the world's largest date producer. So what to do with the millions of tons of waste product? Well, a new wave of entrepreneurs is once again seeking to turn this environmental burden to a valuable resource.
Time seems to stand still here in this palm grove in Dahshur, 40 kilometers south of Cairo. Dates are being harvested from the tall trees using ancient, simple methods, and nothing is left out. Every part has its use, like a human. It's generous and it's useful. Born and raised here, Khaled El Kazaz has always felt a deep connection to this land. Today, he shares that connection with visitors from around the world on his eco-friendly farm. A village like ours used to have more than 10 workshops working with palm fronds. Now you'd be lucky to find even one or two. Plastic took over and traditional crafts are disappearing. Egypt is one of the world's largest producers of dates, and with every harvest comes millions of tons of palm waste. For centuries, farmers have used every part of the palm, but these traditions have faded over time. Nowadays, the leftovers are mostly burned or thrown away. But Khalid is reviving the old knowledge, proving that sustainability isn't new. Every branch, every leaf has its place in a cycle where nothing is wasted. We make recycling bins from palm frond waste, along with pallets, tables and foldable chairs, inspired by Tutankhamun's design. All eco-friendly products, all made from the palm tree. But this circular model, using all parts of the plant, remains rare. For most Egyptian date farmers, reusing palm waste is too costly or labor-intensive. Yet, just a few kilometers away, another approach is taking shape. In a small workshop south of Cairo, a sustainable design studio is reimagining palm waste, turning it into contemporary furniture and design objects. It all began as an experiment to create art and functional objects from a sustainable material. I chose palm fronds, and it worked. Now we make furniture, cladding and flooring, and our new collection is 100% palm frond based. Palm fronds are tough and unpredictable, and a challenge for the craftsfolk who work with them. But the team here transforms them into traditional yet modern designs, proving that what some consider waste can become art and more. Working palm fronds on machines is tough. They wear out the tools quickly, but the finish is better than wood. When we saw the final results, I really fell in love with the work. The workshop does good business and shows what's possible. Still, it remains a small-scale operation. Considering the huge amount of palm waste generated in Egypt and elsewhere, it cannot address the greater need.
The furniture will stay, that it's a design studio, so it works with architects, with projects, and it's not meant for mass production.
Here, however, on Cairo's eastern edge, scientists at a research and development company are thinking bigger by studying palm fibers at the molecular level. Their research aims to transform palm waste into biodegradable material and fibers that can be used for products like sustainable packaging or insulation.
The handcraft sector, it's not intended to be scalable. if we're looking at what are the possible industrial raw materials that can be developed from the palm waste, this is where scalability is necessary.
Mohammad Midani says he wants to expand solutions that can process and reuse millions of tons of palm waste produced every year in Northern Africa and many Arab countries.
We have two main technology platforms. One platform is called PalmFill, which is a technology to transform the palm residues into textile fibers and reinforcements. And we have another technology platform, which is a technology that transforms the date palm residues into soilless growing media and sorbent.
From the date farms of Dashur to Cairo's workshops and laboratories, Egypt's palm waste story is one of rediscovery, where tradition, creativity and science meet. It's a story of people determined to make every leaf count again, because sometimes the answers to our future lie in the roots of our past.
When extreme weather hits, it is more than an environmental problem. It is a social one. For people with disabilities, the threats are multiplied. We're about to meet a woman who has turned exclusion into empowerment and who wants us to rethink how we care for the environment. Penina Nakande's story is a reminder that resilience starts with representation.
My name is Nakandi Penina. I'm a national para badminton player. I'm an environmentalist. I love nature. I'm the last born at home out of my other 14 siblings. I'm the only one who was born with a disability, the short stature. That's the deformity I have. I have a disability out of all my other siblings. But I'm proud of myself. I love myself. When these people are constructing the road, they don't have it in mind that people of my kind are born. Actually, in Kampala, Makerere University has got it. But can they also think about students with disabilities? Can they think about the e-wheelchairs? Can they think about the e-equipment? So, as they are designing it to suit the environment of the Makerere University, do they have it in mind that also there are students with physical disability? They are leaving us outside. Is it because of the disability we have got that we are being left out? Let the solutions be inclusive. Let the solution don't leave anyone behind. When I'm on the badminton court, I feel that I've got it all. I feel I've been given a chance. I feel I'm somebody. I feel empowered. No matter what, my disability is not even seen because I'm the one holding the racket and the shuttle. The same way you come to cheer Penina on the badminton court to take up the shuttles, that's the same way you should also reserve the environment. At the end of it all, if you treat everybody equally, you give people opportunity to enjoy and have life. If I'm given a chance to play badminton, that means everybody can play that game. Climate change affects us double. It's times two, meaning that if floods are to come here, as people are running away for the slides to take it up, you leave me because I can't live with my wheelchair. That's one of the things. Climate change is for everybody, no matter what. Even if you've got a disability, even if you have an intellectual disability, it is your role to preserve the environment. And now, in case of any calamity, natural calamities, when it comes in, it hits me the more, I'll die like a chicken. I love the elephant, not because the elephant is my totem. I'm from the elephant clan. That one describes who I am. Elephants are leaders. They lead in the jungle. They lead in the environment. I'm also a leader. Even when I feel this stigmatized, discouraged. When I look at an elephant, I feel empowered. I feel I can make it no matter how many years. So we should persevere and protect the elephant because they describe who we are, no matter in whatever situation. If you leave persons with disabilities out of climate change action, your job will be incomplete. That means the job is not done. But if you want a job which is good, which is dignified in climate change, engage persons with disabilities, then your job will be complete.
Across the world, people with disabilities struggle with marginalization. Here in Uganda, badminton is already embracing people with disabilities, and Penina is one of them. She says that sport is giving her a platform to show that people with disabilities can contribute to society. And she wants to be involved in policy. She wants to be involved in actions that change the world in topics like climate change.
That means inclusion in international sign language. When it comes to the world we live in, there are many ways to include everyone in society. For the millions of people in Africa with hearing loss, it is often a question of communicating vital information. We met a man in Zimbabwe who is doing his bit to make sure that when environmental problems arise, nobody is left alone.
Douglas Mapeta demonstrates the word weather in sign language.
Floods.
Today, the class is focusing on words related to weather phenomena and climate change. Extreme weather events like floods and droughts are becoming more common in Zimbabwe. They can be even more devastating for people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Once communication has not been relayed properly in terms of planning to those people who are deaf, it will be very difficult for them to know even the evacuation centers, even in terms of awareness that there is a disaster looming. It will be difficult for them to understand.
According to the World Health Organization, around 4% of people in Africa live with disabling hearing loss. In Zimbabwe, sign language is one of the 16 official languages, but few have really mastered it. And Douglas Mapeta is one of the very few teachers.
Climate change, it's a reality. So there must be ways now to change the way we think, to change our words, to change our signs, so that everyone, every time, is aware what is happening.
He also believes in changing his lifestyle to be more sustainable. Today, he and his colleague John Vudzi are visiting an urban farm. Vudzi lost his hearing as a child after contracting meningitis. He has been working at Douglas Mapeta's language school since 2018. Both are interested in renewable energies and smart agriculture. Here, they are learning how to grow lettuce and vegetables while saving water.
I've been taught to use these things with little water. Why? Because the climate change is changing and giving a few crops. It's easy to grow. There are no challenges for people with disability, and I will learn to do this.
Another important factor for communication is electricity. In Zimbabwe, power outages are frequent. That makes life especially difficult for deaf people as they need light to communicate. Solar lamps can be helpful here. Douglas Mapeta has taught sign language for more than a decade in the capital Harare and in rural areas. He offers free courses like here in the community of Nyanga. He tells them about low-cost solar panels, not to sell them, but as a helpful tip for deaf residents, so they are free to communicate at all times.
I love you.
Being able to speak up for yourself and your community takes courage and strength, especially when you're trying to stop man-made environmental problems such as deforestation and habitat loss. Often they are caused by powerful industries such as coal mining. Have you ever thought what you would do if the countryside around you or your farm, for example, was threatened? We met some people in Turkey who have found an answer to that question.
Nejla Ishik and her daughter Ezra are tending their small family farm. A few sheep, chickens and cows. What looks like a pastoral paradise in Turkey's Muğla region, however, faces a massive problem, visible from above just behind their house. A lignite mine is eating at the roots of the Ishik family.
My mother's village was here. My grandparents were driven out. Many were sent to the surrounding towns or had to emigrate.
Since the mine started operating in 1979, the vast open pit behind Nejla's house has only expanded. She's afraid she will be driven away too when the mine grows further. As everyone here assumes it will, for two reasons. Firstly, Turkey's power consumption has greatly increased in recent years. More than a third of its electricity is generated from coal. The second relates to the thousands of olive trees, some more than 200 years old, around the mine. They used to enjoy special protection, but the government keeps changing the laws. The new olive law passed last July allows companies to mine coal here too.
The companies are now licensed to mine this 24,000-hectare area.
Nejla and campaigners from the surrounding villages have been fighting for more than 5 years to stop more of their land from being lost to mining. In September, Ezra filmed police and miners coming to dig up the olive trees. The law decreed that they would be replanted elsewhere, but no one knows what has really happened to the trees. Some protesters, including Nejla, were briefly detained. Tonight, a group of committed neighbors are enjoying tea and fruit from the Ishik family garden on the terrace.
This core group of 15 people has brought us to this point. We have faced many difficulties, endured a lot of pressure, and suffered greatly.
Ezra is here too. She quit her job 2 years ago to fight for her home.
This is a struggle for the survival of past and future generations. For me, it's primarily about acknowledging my roots, my past, and those who came before me.
In the morning, Nejla and her fellow campaigners are visited by the deputy chair of the opposition CHP party, who wants to see the situation surrounding the mine for himself. His party supports the protests against mining.
In certain regions of Turkey, 80% of the land has been approved for mining. The situation is so serious that we are opposing not just the attack on these olive trees, but the legislation itself.
A study by the Norwegian Institute for Nature Research shows that Turkey lost more natural and agricultural land than any other country in Europe between 2018 and 2023, a total of around 1,800 square kilometers. Baki Remzi Suhmez, president of the Chamber of Agricultural Engineers, is concerned.
In our opinion, political decisions in favor of reckless, uncontrolled mining are very damaging to the future of this country and will continue to be.
We hope to speak with those responsible for the mine in Ikiskoy and the policy surrounding it, but the Energy Ministry has not responded to our inquiries. The Yeke Energy Company initially responded, but has so far refused to give us an interview or a written statement. After visiting the mine with the politicians and specialists, Nejla and the other campaigners continue on to Muğla, the district capital. Opposition parties are holding a demonstration in the city centre under the motto, "We will not give up our land."
People from different cities from all over Turkey are here today to support us. That is the most valuable thing for us because that is what they fear most.
They, of course, are President Erdogan's government and the government-linked Yeke Energy. Nejla will fight on to save her home and her daughter's future.
The economic hub of Ivory Coast, Abidjan, is expanding fast. Now, this rapid urban growth puts a strain on the city's infrastructure, and authorities struggle to keep up with all the growth. In our next report, we meet some people who have decided not to wait for their state to mobilize. They are already hard at work on making sure that sustainable development is at the heart of the new Abidjan.
Abidjan wants to invest in a cleaner future, and its citizens are stepping up to help. We reuse or recycle. I want to grow this produce naturally. Waste should either be given a second life or treated. 3 eco-conscious citizens who are passionate about protecting the environment and creating a circular economy. Plastic pollution is a huge problem in Ivory Coast. The UN says Abidjan alone produces 280 tons of plastic waste a day. The coastal city lacks a working waste management system. Trash ends up in open drainage canals and flows into the sea. We are victims of our own actions because when we pollute the ocean, the fish get sick. We eat fish, so we also get sick. But plastic can often be recycled. To teach children early on, the organization Moi Géotrie organizes workshops for schools in Abidjan. Laureen and the classmates are learning what can be made from old plastic, like combs. The group has already reached about 100 schools in the city. The name Moi Géotrie is a play on words that sounds like I sort trash. Today, it's Laureen's turn to show how it's done. Paper goes in the yellow bin, plastic in the green bin, food scraps in the black bin, and metals in the blue bin. About 15 kilometers from downtown Abidjan, farmer Adama Bamba tends his fields. He mainly grows African eggplant, tomatoes, corn, and okra. He uses no chemical pesticides or fertilizers, only organic products. He makes his own fertilizer, a mix of banana peel, charcoal, cow's milk, sugar, and red soil. Sugar supports microbial activity, while the red soil helps retain moisture. This is not only more environmentally friendly, it's also more economical. If I have, for example, 150 euros, I can produce around a ton of natural products myself. But with the same amount, you can't get a ton of chemical fertilizer. Never. You just can't. Another burden on the land is industrial waste and old tires. But here too, there's an opportunity. Since 2023, the company IVOS or Ivoire Oilfield Services has treated waste plastics and old tires in a closed system that prevents CO2 and other harmful gases from escaping. This process produces so-called pyrolysis oil, which is cleaned and reused as diesel on site. The company isn't allowed to sell it yet, but it saves on energy costs. So far, it recycles almost 7% of the solid waste it collects. More and more companies are realizing that waste shouldn't be thrown away, but should either be given a second life or treated in a rational, ecological way with a well-organized system. There are many ways to produce sustainably. That's exactly what Laureen and the classmates learned in their workshop about plastic. When we produce, consume, and throw away, we bury it or burn it. but I've learned it can be the opposite. If we produce, consume and reuse, then we recycle. Even though they are still just starting out, initiatives from committed citizens and businesses can help Abidjan become a greener and more livable city.
To get involved and improve the world around us. And we hope the examples we have shown you today inspire you in your daily lives. We hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know your thoughts by writing to echo@dw.com. I'm Malama Mukonde in Lusaka, Zambia. Goodbye.
And don't forget to check out our social media channels. Goodbye from me too, Crystal Lems in Lagos, Nigeria. See you next time.